Take a look at Super Typhoon Nando, also known as Ragasa, passing directly over the Babylon Islands here in the northern Philippines as basically a Cat 5 super typhoon. I'm meteorologist Robert Speta. Always do my best to keep you informed and posted on the latest on these storm systems, and at least today it is starting to move away from the northern portions of Luzon. This after rolling directly, as I mentioned, right over the Babylon Islands here. You had some of those outer rain bands strong at times across parts of Cagayan and still continuing to impact the Ilocos Norte. Heavy rainfall wrapping in around, and I have seen reports of some flooding in around the Opera area and even over towards Baguio as that inflow heads up the mountains there on the west coast. But yeah, microwave imagery shows that inner eye wall you see right here running over those islands. The right front quadrant passed just towards the south of the Batanes Islands. They did miss out on the core of this. It really was Calayan that really took the biggest impact, and this is actually a photo from inside of that inner eye wall. We have this posted on the Western Pacific Weather Facebook page. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a roof off of this home right here. But I think the key thing is if you look up, you can see that classic stadium arena effect we were talking about. And just because this eye just was so large as it passed right overhead, they were inside the eye for well over an hour here as it passed by and headed off there towards the west. So an exceptionally long lull before the winds came up just as fierce coming in from the south after it kicked on by. So where is this absolute beast of a storm system headed next after bringing these incredible images? And also we got plenty of other videos of what's going on across northern Luzon. Thank you so much for all of our weather watchers here sending us in images, photos, reports. If you have any, shoot us a message. Probably on our Facebook page would be the best bet, but you can hit me up at westernpacificweather@gmail.com if you feel more comfortable in that avenue. All right, so taking a look at the forecast, the good news and bad news, it peaked out over the Luzon Strait. We are seeing somewhat of a weakening here with the intensity, and you see that right here. It kind of peaked out with a threshold there, about 140 knots sustained, now jumping back down just only ever so slightly. And if we look at satellite imagery, you actually see a little bit of the dry air trying to wrap in from the north. It's a bit of a far cry from these darker kind of highlighted colors showing the colder cloud tops just 12 hours ago. So as it moves towards the west and passes just towards the south of Hong Kong, probably will no longer be a super typhoon at that point, and eventually moving just towards of Hainan and into Hanoi. It could even be a tropical storm even by then as it slowly starts to weaken out. But I wouldn't call it weak by any means, only because it is still going to be packing a bit of a punch here. So let's take a look actually at our forecast and look at the broader picture as well, because we have another storm system trying to develop up behind this. A lot of people have been asking those questions too, and I'll get to that in a second. Taking a look at Ragasa, though, passing just towards the south of Hong Kong Tuesday night, heading into your Wednesday morning. Then by Wednesday evening, they're moving just towards the south or north of Hainan, excuse me, and then moving on shore into Vietnam as we go ahead through about midday on Thursday, passing directly over Hanoi by Thursday evening. By that point, it should be more of a tropical storm. Taking a look at the forecast, and this is starting here by your Monday afternoon. By the time I'm recording this here into Monday night, our storm system starts to move away from Ilocos Norte in northwestern Luzon. Still have rain bands wrapping around and hitting Taiwan, by the way, but it's here as we go ahead into Tuesday morning into the afternoon. The winds start to come in from the south, more so for the Philippines, which is going to really just stop producing that onshore flow, and that's when you're really going to start to see the break in the weather. Then this passes by Hong Kong, and you see kind of kicks off there towards the north and west. You might be curious, what in the world was this? I just want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. I haven't given them much love lately, so I want to give them a shout out. Again, frontrunnerfinancial.com. It's a consulting for accounts and money if you work overseas or you travel a lot. They deal with different countries. Really good stuff. I lived overseas, obviously, covering this for the longest time. I wish I had somebody like that on hand. So they support the channel. You gotta want to pass along that. So if you are looking for somebody like that, give them a shout. All right, here's a look at the broader view, and this is what I was talking about. So here's Tuesday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and you can see the general wind flow starts coming from the south. So that really is when most of the rain is going to stop for the Philippines, okay? Not for Taiwan. You can still see the inflow slamming into the mountains there. My goodness, that is just going to be an incredible amount of precip. And you see here by Wednesday morning, right front quadrant passing just too close for comfort for Hong Kong, or at least all the other cities in the whole metro area here. Going to be looking at those impacts. And then, just to draw more on this very busy map, we got our next storm system coming on shore in the Bicol area, and that's going to increase rainfall. At the very least, be a low pressure area, probably could be a tropical depression for places like Lake de Samar, in out there even towards Legazpi as this comes on by. And you can see that here by Thursday and the Friday. First, you got the inflow from the west right there, and then you see the next storm system coming in from the east here, increasing that rainfall. But that's still a couple days out here. My next update definitely is going to lean more on that. No offense to everybody out there in China. I know I got people that watch from Hong Kong, but I don't have a lot of people that watch from mainland China. So once you get outside of there, outside of the Great Firewall, not many people kind of post on these updates. But let's pull back the picture, and you know, I take a look out here. You know, that area of convection the ECMWF is trying to pick up on so quickly is not terribly organized. I mean, my goodness, it looks kind of rough, to be quite frank. And you have all the shear and the inflow coming in behind our super typhoon over here. So I know the ECMWF is really aggressive on development, but I'm not jumping to it right now. I mean, I'm not saying that this scenario right here is not impossible. It's just, yeah, it feels like it would probably be more of this right here, the ECMWF, a broad low, a lot of moisture, basically the same junk we have been seeing here for the past several months. You know, we've been tracking a lot of these broad lows, tropical depressions, a little bit of rainfall with them. I think it could be something very similar to that. So, yeah, that's going to be one of the big topics, though, as we look at it. Anyways, if you have any questions, though, please let me know. Big shout out to our Patreon members who also support the channel. I can't always stress that enough. You guys just help me out so much, so thank you again. And yeah, also big thanks to everybody who's been sending us images and reports here, much like this one from our people watching these channels, keeping us posted and updated. And it's incredible to get these images from inside the storm on a remote island in the Philippines. And it really shows the extent, I think, that Western Pacific weather has and the grasp that people like this send us. When I started this 20 years ago, I would have never thought that. And thank you so much, guys, for your continued support. And I hope, as I say in every single video, I hope you stay safe out there. And I hope everyone else has stayed safe out there throughout the duration of this super typhoon. All right.